Okay, so this is a video for our law enforcement movie or police movie. So what I decided to do was the movie End of Watch, and the main characters are played by Jake Gyllenhaal, or Gyllenhaal. His name is Brian Taylor in the movie, and then Michael Pena, and his name is Mike Zavala. Taylor and Zavala are, I believe, both main characters, and there's not just one character or lead actor in the movie. I think it's both of them, because that movie focuses on partners, and I thought it was only respectful to mention those two together and not just one of them. So I'm going to get right into it. Hopefully I get this right. I questioned myself back and forth on the unconstitutional or constitutional violations. So I'm going to go with a unconstitutional first, and it's when the, and forgive me, but I'm reading this right off of notes that I have. Officer Taylor and Officer Zavala enter a house to speak with a person who's been, I think he was harassing a mailman, saying he wanted his money or his check. So this is what I have. Officer is talking to a person inside their home, but then the officer is then told by the person inside the home, so the occupant, without that badge and gun, you ain't blank, which I can imagine how many times an officer is told that. Without that gun, without that badge, take off these handcuffs. I bet you we can do this, or I can do this to you. So what he does is he actually goes for it. He begins to start, from what I believe, assaulting what is now the victim, who was the homeowner before, because the officer heard the statement. So he decides, okay, then let's go, and they start fighting. So he assaults the male inside the home. Despite the aggravating comments made by the person inside the home towards the officer, that was unconstitutional for Officer Zavala to assault him. The excessive force was used, and it violated the right by effectively punishing a citizen before they are tried, which would have been the Fourth Amendment. Second one, I have another unconstitutional, and this one again I went back and forth on. So two officers, Officer Zavala and Taylor, do not have a warrant or probable cause to drive to a house, but they still search the outside of the home, look through their trash cans, and that's when they hear noises, and they decide to force their way into the home. This violates the Fourth Amendment, which prohibits unreasonable searches, and the only reason why the officers went inside the home is because if you watch the scene right before, Officer Taylor says he wants to make detective, and he starts stating reasons why nobody has gone to the house, but he decides to take it upon himself, and he asks his partner, why don't you just come with me? So partner says, well, he's not going to leave him, so he goes with him. But they did not have probable cause to go into that home. They didn't have a warrant to go into the home. This was just a house that I believe was a phone call was made by a person that they arrested prior to that. I think it might have been weeks before or days. I'm not sure. It doesn't really say in the movie. But other than a phone call to the house, that's all they had to go on. And they enter the home. Last one would be a constitutional. I had two unconstitutional, one constitutional. So two officers pull over a car that was under surveillance for gang activity. The house, a car leaves the home. The driver, once they pull him over, they ask him to step out of the vehicle. The driver then pulls a gun out, fires one shot at one of the officers. They handcuff him. They put him in the back of a car. So that gave them probable cause to search the vehicle, since they had a gun, and it was obviously visible. It was a motor vehicle exception, which is a legal rule in the United States which allows the search of a motor vehicle without a search warrant, normally required by the Fourth Amendment. Probable cause is needed, which is a standard of the law that an officer has grounds to obtain a warrant. I don't think I have to go into that one pretty further. I could have made this probably so much easier on myself and gone through other constitutional, but again, from the other video, if you remember, I said I would like to challenge myself. I hope I get more points on this one. Maybe I should have went with the easy route, but constitutional, a guy takes a shot at one of the officers, they're going to search the car. So they're within their constitutional right to search the car, and then they find a large amount of money and 2 firearms, one AK-47 and one handgun, which are gold-plated, I believe. So I hope those are enough to give me the maximum amount of points. I probably left something out, but those are the 2 I picked. Unconstitutional, 2 unconstitutional, 1 constitutional. So the reason why I picked this movie is because that's the area I grew up in. I was born and raised in Los Angeles for 21 years. And all the parts of the movie, the streets, the liquor stores there, the barber shops, whatever happens to be there, I remember all those places. They're still there. I was just there not too long ago, a couple months ago. And so law enforcement, Los Angeles, probably one of the better movies I've seen in a long time. That was the first person, because he's going, actually Officer Taylor is he's trying to get his degree, and he has to take an elective, so he's taking a course in which requires him to take film. And so he's taking a first-person point of view from his squad car to what he has in his locker. He's always filming in briefings, which he's probably not supposed to. But it was a unique film. I loved the movie. I always watch it. My wife can't stand it. She hates those type of movies. But it was home. It was a great movie. I liked the way it was filmed. And from what I did some research on with the director, is he made Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena ride with 2 LAPD officers for I think 1 or 2 months before they even started doing the movie, which because he wanted them to be as real as possible. And I just really liked the movie. I enjoyed it again. I liked this class. I liked what was going on in the movie. It gave me a chance to watch end up watching it, which I own and watched about 4,500 times. So anyways, thanks again, and hopefully I answered all the questions that you were looking for.